Welcome to the I'm a Busy Guy show. My name is Vince Lucasio, and I'm a busy guy. I've got another busy guy on the show today. His name is Joe Bruno. He's the owner of Finishes by Bruno, and he's also one of the co-founders of Società San Francisco di Paula, along with Father Roberto Simenato. He was one of the original founders, and he truly, truly has lived the American dream. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you to invite me.
Nice to have you here. Well, let's start off at the beginning. I know you were born in Marcissato, Italy. What made you want to come to America?
Well,
Chicago?
I was born in Marano, Marchesato, in province of Cosenza, Calabria, and my age was about 24 and a half years old, and I never had the opportunity to, even if I know how to make a furniture, but I was an apprentice there. So then I don't have no choice. I was a little angry and hungry, to leave my village, my town, with all of my friends, and come in a place where, I don't have no idea where I was going,
Your father was here first?
My father was, he was about 3 years before me, and I was refused to go with my father. My father said, "Why don't you come with me?" I said, "No, I want to stay here." Then I find out that was a big mistake I did, because if I told you I can do over there, but then I find out it was impossible. So and then I decided to tell my father, "See what you can do. I want to follow you. I want to come I want to come in America." And we did all the paperwork, and we waited a couple of years.
Yeah, and the conditions were rough there. I mean, I know you even mentioned the house did not have running water.
Well, because some people, this is the truth. I mean, I was not the only one in the village where I was living. In a few kilometers from Cosenza, which was a city. We don't have no water in the house. We don't have no phone. We don't have no television. We don't have no couch. And it was okay at that time, because most everybody was in the same situation. But then, when I came here in 1960, I was shocked. My father was living Polk Street and Sacramento. Court Street was Sears. I was impressed when he showed me the house, in a third floor house, with the first thing he showed me the water. Not because I know it was water. A lot of people have water, but no, in my family, we don't have water. So we used to go outside, have some water, and then use it for everything, to wash your face, wash the hand, and the cooker. And okay. So when he showed me, I remember. Now it's over 50 years. Okay. I remember the sink with those largest sink, white, and he showed me. Said, "Look at this. We got water over here. We got water in the kitchen." And he turned the faucet, the level. One was hot, cold water, one is hot water. It was not a big surprise for me. Even if I know some people have in Italy, those big city, hot water, cold water, but not for me. Then I find a black telephone hanging on the wall. So you imagine, I said, this is America.
Yeah, I read that you said, I think, in where you lived in Italy, there was like one.
It was one phone in the village hall, like.
I'm laughing, but because we take things for granted over here now, what we have.
Yeah, and so I, for curiosity, I was a kid, to go and just to listen what the people was doing was for me, and it was something as how those people can talk from one village to another village, or one village to the city. I mean, it was complicated. Oh, hello, it was no easy, but it was one phone. So for me to come in America, I'm ready. The first hour I was feeling like an American guy. My dream was come true. Phone, water in the house, and a couch, a little television. I was ready. I said, well, it was worth it to come, And then.
So now tell us, please, 3 days before you're ready to come.
3 days before, this was our culture. One day I want to marry somebody from my time, okay? And so now I don't have no time, and I said, boy, I gotta go, I gotta find some girls, It was really, it's a crazy ideas, if you think it now, this happen.
Yeah.
So I want to say goodbye to one of my brother girlfriend. And I find my wife. My wife, she was a guest. She was a cousin. But she was living in a different city in Catanzaro. She was born in my time, but she was a mover. So, and it was in winter time, in December, after Christmas. So, and it was in a fireplace. And she died, her mom and my wife and mom was dying about a month before. And then one brother was a car accident. They died. He was 21 years old. And she was all black dress, you don't even see the face, And she was crying, and I start thinking about it. I said, boy, this is be the perfect girl. If I go to America and make money, I want to make happy this girl too. She was 17,
Mima.
So, and I told her, so the first day I was thinking about this. Next day, I told her hand. I said, I like your niece. And the third day, his father came from that city to make a dealer.
Yeah. So you asked for her hand.
So I say, and I said, well, you're going to America? I don't know. A lot of people go and never come back. And I said, listen, you trust me? I promise you I come back in 3 years. Give me 3 years, I come back, I marry your daughter. I like, but I don't even know about her,
Yeah.
So really, this was, at that time, this was
so you came,
style.
and then almost to...
So I came here, and I find, other way. I mean, to me, America was too good for me. First of all, I find out about myself. When I was telling in my time, I want to do this, I want to do that. You can do because you are nobody. My father was a cabinet maker, a carpenter. You got to be carpenter or cabinet maker because of your father.
Yeah.
He was, this is the way
carry
it was.
on the trade.
Yeah, you say you follow your daddy, and one day you help him. So then my father came in America, and I don't have the father to help him. Then I designed. So, but.
So then you work what? You work for Parenti and Raffaelli.
So then I was like, first of all, when I was over there, and I was, just an apprentice, and I don't even know if I was good or was bad. But I know I have all the time in my mind. I say I know I can do this. I know I can do this. I know even in a politician, I was a list of the communist. I was a list of social, the Republican, any kind, because I want to see the difference between those parties. And I wasn't even feeling like I'm dumb. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So I say, people, I cannot say nothing because I'm a nobody. I'm fifth grade. And I stopped school. You can go far away.
But you had the trade. So then I'll tell.
I have the trade, but the trade was do me too good.
Yeah.
So when I started to work with the Parente, before
Parente
was
maker. He's a furniture maker.
Maker for it. By the time it was about 5, 6 people on Roosevelt and Pulaski in a big garage. 5 people, and I was the first one from South Italy. Those 5 people was all in North Italy, and a little guy like me, let's try. In 1 week, he said, hey, you do good. You want to stay here? So, and I remember it was in the Christmas time it was an holiday, and it was a present, a little ham, was given to those 5 people. I took mine, and the guy said, no, for you, because you just to start work with us. I think it was the 4th of July, okay. And he took it away from me. So that's why I was angry. To, those things I never like.
Yeah.
So when I go back.
It was almost like the same thing that was going on back in Italy for you.
Yeah. So when I go back to work after the holiday, I say, I got to show what I can do. So then when really I was, and I tell all the young people, I say, no matter where you are, no matter where you come from, and no matter, you gotta believe in yourself, and you gotta say, I got a trait, I can do something, and nobody's better than me. I can do what somebody else cannot do. So, and I showed to the guy. 6 months later, I was a foreman, With my broken English, it was very difficult. But I was a copy from one box to the
Well,
other.
finishing was your specialty.
No, I was a cabinet
No?
maker. Then
That's
what
where you
happened,
started.
all of this interior decorator, we used to work for interior decorator for rich people, with a company, Parente. And those people was crying all the time. They said, oh, the cabinet look good, but the finish look commercial, look good, And I was start to understand, what those people was no happy. Okay, so because I was learning in Italy how to do by hand, over here was a spray, electrical tools, and we used to do in Italy by hand. So, and then I say, you wanted me to try a little bit. But it was already a few years I was doing furniture. And then little by little I started to really love to do this finishes. Now finish, very custom-made finish for, rich people.
For a lot of people, we talk about the president of Sears, Johnson Publishing, Saudi Prince. But I want to, because we got a lot to tell, so we got to move along. But I want you to tell the story about the Chevy, about how you were here then for 3 years.
So then, in 3 years later, when I was promised my fiancée, I was work with Brandon. I was do some south job. I was do a few things, to make some money. I want to go back in Italy. Like I came here with nothing in my pocket. I don't even have when I say nothing. And then I started building. My first bank and my first check was $95. My $95, my father took me to Pioneer Bank. I don't know if it's still there.
North Avenue in Pulaski.
North Avenue Pulaski. And he told me and he said, you know what? You can put money we save over here, and you got an interest. And I don't even understand about bank. I never. I was my bank over there was just to go pay the bills.
Okay, so you buy the Chevy. Tell the story about the Chevy.
So then, when I make some money, I feel myself, I have $6,000-7,000 on the side. At that time, I can go buy a 2 build over there, But I say, you know what? I came here poor. I want to play like I'm a rich guy, and I want to enjoy myself. 27 years old. I buy the beautiful Chevrolet, Impala, 2,800 at that time.
Wow!
So I went to an agency. I said, how much needed to? I want to take this with me in Italy. So I told you it was an impossible dream, but he said $420. $420. I drove the Chevrolet to New York. With my problem with the language, But I did it. I drive in New York and I find I put it in the boat, they put them in the boat and go to Naples, Italy. So my fiancé, never no idea.
Yeah.
And everybody was with me in the train station, where you come, and then to drive in Italy with this car, 27 years old, and it was very, very risky because it was so big. I cannot go through.
The streets are as wide as that car.
But I did it. And then a couple of weeks later, 2 weeks, I started to move very easy, to one city to another city. 1 month later, I married my wife because I cannot wait. I said, I don't got no time. Let's marry as soon as possible. This is the way it was at that time,
So you kept your promise. You said, I'll be back in 3 years.
I took it with me. And we started running all over Italy, from south to north Italy. With my money, I was paying for the gasoline over here with some coupon, And then I started my invention.
So let's tell a little bit about, because I know you said you at first were a cabinet maker, but your strength was
then I find myself. I have a talent, Those were rich people was looking for unique look, everything is got to look old and antique, museum look, okay. And because I was go back and forth in Italy, I was going to those museum, church, and I was looking those old church, and I started to say, maybe I can try to do this. Maybe I can try to do this. I can try. And I was lucky because I have those big design with me, and it was appreciated. Oh, you do good. You do good. You do good.
Who one of those? Richard Himmel?
Well, Richard Miller was one of the top guy, the top designer, and I believe is that. But It was fantastic. I go run all over the United States with him.
Yeah.
I was in London. I did work in London. I'm in Boston, Philadelphia, and I come Joe Bruno. And then 30 years ago, in 1982, I started my own business. I worked with Parente for 21, 22 years. Okay, I learn, I find out a lot of people, and then,
What'd you tell Oprah?
Oprah, I did Oprah when I was ready business for myself. The decorators say, I got the guy who can do for you something very unique. I don't even know her. I'm not too crazy about those movie star, the player, I worry about my business. And so, and I understand everybody say, oh, she make a movie, the color, purple color.
Yeah.
So what I start thinking, what I got to do
purple.
for her, yeah. So I'm supposed to work in a bedroom set. And I come with the idea, I say, I got to show some leather look, goat skin leather purple. But purple with different shade of purple, dark, light, dark, medium purple. To put it together like mink coat, in the back you got a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
And this is what I did.
Right.
So when the decorator showed the sample, she said, I got to come and see this guy. Unbelievable. Look at what I did.
Oprah came to your studio.
So then the decorator make an appointment, but I surprised him. I said, Monday, she's supposed to come and see me. I said, I'm going to cruise on a Saturday. And she said, oh, you cannot do this. Oprah Winfrey come and see you. I said, listen, what I got to do? I pay it already. I pay it in full. Me and my wife, we're going to cruise. So 2 weeks later, when I came back from the cruise, she was surprising me. She came with the designer, knocked on the door. We opened the door. It was Oprah Winfrey. She don't even say hello. And my daughter was very disappointed.
Wow.
Because you dealing with those kind of people, famous. And I take care of you, you take care of me.
Yeah.
So you say good morning, and I say good morning to you. So Chino said good morning, and my daughter said, I don't want to talk with her. She started to be, she was a star, big star.
Yeah.
But when I stopped her away, I said, I want to be sure you understand me. I said, right now, you came to me because you need me. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I said, you need me, and I need you. But you came to see me. So I said, we got to work it together. I said, you're the best in the television. You do the best show. And believe it or not, I'm the best in this business.
Right. One lady from Johnson said that you're like the Michelangelo of furniture.
Michelangelo was Mr. Johnson Publishing.
Yeah.
She was crazy about me. She called me Valentino designer, Armani designer, Michelangelo. I said, Michelangelo, forget about that. I said, he born poor, Michelangelo. I said, I came poor, but I don't want to work for nothing.
Well, something I know that, we'll move on from the furniture, but that you're very proud of is, the Calabresi in America organization that you're part of. How'd you get involved with that?
When I started my business in 1982, I have next to me, I have this good friend of mine, Father Roberto Simeonato. He was a young priest. I was very close with him, very close. And the guy was a very simple person. And he was telling me, about, when I quit my job, and I said, Joe, why don't you start it for yourself? You're smart. You can do good for yourself, and I listened to him, and I did it. Now, I say, what I got to do for my region? I come from South Italy. I say, I want to put together I don't want a club, a club, too many clubs. I say, I want to make some like a big party once a year to put together the community and celebrate something. So he gave me the idea because we got this San Francisco Paola, which was not too far from where I was come from. It's a church over there.
Saint?
Yeah.
The patron saint of that area.
The patron, and he said, why don't you tell her, we make a one day we dedicate it to the saint. And in September 1982, we started with a mass in Stone Park, Stone Park, okay. And it was a church, and we did a mass. It was beautiful. The church was full. And I started to feel, I said, oh my gosh, I can do this,
You were the chairman of the dinner
I was
dance.
the chairman, and so then I become the president. So what happened then, 4 years later, I was go back and forth in Calabria, in Italy. I was making money. I was go, 2 times a year, and I was go to the region of Calabria. And I say, what about some help? I was looking for poster, customer, traditional customer. I don't even ask for nothing else. He say, listen, if you go back in Chicago, you can put together a social club. With religion organization, we can do much. But if you make a social club, I said, you'd be surprised how many help we can give it to you. We can send some musician, orchestra, folk group, a singer, And believe it or not, I did it. When I come back.
This was 30 years ago.
30 years ago. 30 years we started the feast, and 4 or 5 years later, we started the Calabresi in America, social club.
And now, I know it's to the point where, tell us about Rai Television, which is a network in Italy, international, about how they've covered you.
Well, anytime, then 20 years ago, to this month, it'll be 20 years, we started to make a trip in Italy. So this was, together with Turano family, and we went to New York. It was the president of a region, and it was the tourism, the guy who's in charge of tourism. And I tell me and Turano, I said, well, what about we try to bring, Italy America into Calabria. We show the Calabria. Because I was impressed, and about a couple of months before, I was going to Cancun, when the Cancun started to build the Cancun. And my friend, they gave me a free ticket with an agency, travel agency.
Okay.
And because the guy gave me a free ticket, I said, why free ticket? They want to show Cancun. And then we can sell the Cancun. So I have the idea. I said, you know what, as a president, if we show Calabria, maybe little by little we can bring a lot of people. So, hey, believe it or not, a few months later, we put it together. The region paid some part of the expense. With $1,000, we'd go for 2 weeks that time. Okay,
Nice.
So we about 400 people with 11 bus was going to run in Italy. Okay, in South Italy, especially. So we start, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and we start to be closer with the region. Okay. Because I was from Italy, a lot of people say Italy America was a problem with the Italian language, so I was all the time interviewed by the television.
Right, and now I wish we had pictures of it. I'm sorry we don't. But they've interviewed you about how you decorate your house for Christmas.
Well, on the Christmas, when I used to live on Helmut Park for 27 years, I see people was put a light in the house, okay? And for me, I want to be number one, So I don't know why, even in my business, I say I got to be. I say if somebody told me can do better than me, I'm sure myself. I got to be.
That's a good spirit, though.
No, yeah, this is the way I am. If that guy put a light in the window, I put a light in the chimney. I was going to chimney. He put it in the chimney, I put it in the garage. He put it in the garage, I put it in the alley. Okay, so, and then I built this house in here in Tasca, and I have more room, the house is bigger, and it was not too many competition,
Yeah.
But the first years I have the first prize for the village, and I go back over there and I say, what the price is? I said, pizza for 2. I said, okay, pizza for 2.
Yeah, but you were number one, so.
I was in number 1. The next year, I was in number 2. And I said, where's the number 1? And he showed me. He said, go over there. I don't believe it. I go back, I said, you mean you think you did it better than me? And he said, well, forget about it. It's a politician. You got to do what we cannot do to every year. So,
the same guy.
Same guy. So what happened on every year, so I see people coming back and forth, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now you want, what do you do next year? So what do you do next year? So every year, so I got to try to do
better than before.
Better than.
Before we get off of the feast, because we're running out of time, but it's August 11th through the 14th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Casa Italia.
Yeah.
And you can go online at Casa
Calabresi, www.calabresinamerica.org.
And it should be hopefully it's up on our screen. There's all kinds of things. There's a mass, there's a procession, there's food, entertainment.
Yeah, because
Fireworks.
this was the idea, the way what I said before. I don't want just a feast like a lot of thing for the kids. It was like if you see the brochure, yes, we invited like an invitation.
Yeah.
You come and see.
Go online and check it out. But I wanted to give you a minute to talk, because I mean we could talk an hour about it. But
Yeah.
about the award that you won, the Cavalier of Italy.
Well, you know, I got a lot of presentation, a lot of work. But the big one was Man of the Years in '94. But Man of the Years when the Italian consul called me in 2003. He said, I got to talk with you, and I went to the Italian consul, and they say we are plans to be nominated Cavalier of the Republic of Italy.
By the president.
No, I mean I'm shocked because I know in Italy I have a few people Cavalier and with a little can that was working like God, you know.
Yeah.
Because of this would be, and the people really, some people unusual. Some people like, at the same time I received a Navy Pier and the Crystal Room.
The Crystal Room, yeah.
Yeah. I was a doctor, originally Italian. For Rush, it was surgery, brain surgery. And then there was another guy from Philadelphia, who was a manager in the Hilton Hotel, general manager. You know, when I look at myself, I said, what I'm doing here, you know, with these people? I'm no doctor.
Because your spirit and your heart.
Yeah, but and then when the consul, the Italian consul, read how you say, you know, read my, you know, why, you know.
Why you won.
Why, I mean, it was you know, you read it for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, this.
Well, show us, I mean, because I know you don't have the medal with you, but the thing that you said is
Well,
on your
this,
lapel.
this I mean, a lot of people understand, you know, right away called Cavalier.
Well, it's hard to see it, but it's a little thing he has, but you also won a
Yeah.
big medal. Well, I want to thank you for being on the show. Here's some cannolis from
Oh, thank you.
me, Busy Guy, and from Angelo Gelato. And
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. You
This
know,
was
I like
great.
you. I like your cannoli.
yeah, especially Angelo's. So,
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Hello. This show's almost. Yeah. All right. Bye. Okay. There's some other guy who wants to be on my show, but I can't.
Okay,
I'm too
anyway,
busy.
thank you very much.
Hey.
Thank you.
Salute.
It
I
was
tell you
thank
what, you taught the young Italian Americans that have the dream, to show the
and
dream.
believe in yourself, you know. Never say, I wish I can be this way. No, you got to believe in what you do. And do the front. Thank you.
Give it out.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Joe. Sorry, I got to leave.
Yeah, it's okay.
Busy guy.
Busy guy, yeah.
Yeah, so busy.